I have never beaten a Souls-like.
Huh?
Not because I've never wanted to, but because I absolutely suck. But I want to change that. I want to, no, I'm going to beat every single game in the Soulsborne genre. And yes, that does include Sekiro, which will be fun for everyone, but absolutely horrendous for me. Before I get into the video, I just want to give a bit of context. I've played games since I was little, mainly story and sandbox games and MMOs, with an occasional spell of competitive games. But I've always watched my dad play FromSoft games, and because of that, I've always had a desire to play them myself. And so since then, I've dabbled in the majority of them, but I've never fully completed one. Disgusting, I know. Disgusting! On top of that, during the time I spent with these games, I used a walkthrough and I googled everything I was unsure of. So even though I was playing, I wasn't fully experiencing the reward of exploration and the satisfaction of building my own class. There was no real sense of discovery. It was all just sort of being spoon-fed to me. So, enough is enough. In this series, I'm going to beat all the games properly. I'm going to learn the combat and actually explore the worlds myself, and learn how to get through areas without losing all my flask in the first few minutes. Most importantly, I'm going to experience the highs and the lows of everything the Souls-like genre has to offer. No guides, no walkthroughs, no Google, and no hints from my dad. So, after numerous attempts to actually complete one of these games, and a love for FromSoftware even stronger than ever, I'm finally going to do it. And the first game on the list is Dark Souls 1. So without further ado, I'm Kate from Friendly Fire, and this is part 1 of my journey to beat all the Souls-like games, completely blind, starting with Dark Souls 1. I started in character creation, choosing the warrior, mainly because I like dexterity builds, and for my gift I chose the Tiny Being's Ring. The little bit of HP should hopefully come in handy. And after observing the many unique faces and hairstyles, I was ready. These are lovely. I watched the intro that explained some of the lore and found myself in the Undead Asylum. Here we are. Oh, I feel like I've seen better days. I made my way through the asylum, finding my first bonfire. First bonfire? And shield. Ooh, come back here. Ooh. Estus flasks, shortcuts, and traps. Oh, fuck. That's cool. The essentials for any Soulsborne. Once I'd killed everything in the asylum, I entered the first fog door to face the asylum demon. Okay. Boss time. Oh, he wants it. Look at him, he's like... he's ready for it. Oh! Bro. It was relatively easy, considering I was already familiar with this boss, so I killed him first try. Hey. I made my way forward, meeting a large crow who flew me down to Firelink Shrine.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
After messing around with levels and my humanity... Oh look, I'm me! Nice. Spoke to a very joyful NPC who told me about the two Bells of Awakening.
In the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town.
With this new information, I set off. Now, since I'm doing this completely blind, I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going, so I just followed my gut and made my way down. And I found myself... Oh, okay. Just going down. In New Londo ruins, surrounded by more enemies. So naturally, I killed them all. He's worshipping a pot. Nice. Except for one. He looked quite peaceful, so I decided to leave him alone. Dude. He's just chilling. I'm not gonna kill him. Instead, heading down even further. Hidden in a little hole in the wall, I found my second NPC, Rickett the Smith. I couldn't upgrade my weapons just yet, so I continued on. Oh my god, this guy's in a pot. That's funny. Can I? Oh. Transient Curse. As I made my way down even more stairs, I came across some enemies that reinforced just how hard these games are. Let's just say that they annoyed me. I don't really know if this is the right way to be going, but I wouldn't know. Oh? Oh, Okay, okay. Hold up, hold up. Oh my god. I can't hit them. No! Oh my god. After my first death, I was back at the bonfire, where I met an NPC I didn't find before. She couldn't speak, but I found out that this is where I can upgrade my Estus flasks. Firekeeper soul required to reinforce Estus flask. I don't know why I tried talking to her, she can't speak, bro. I made my way back down to the ruins, unaware that I didn't send the lift back up. So, this happened. Oh my. That was embarrassing. Once I'd figured out that I couldn't hit the ghosts, I used the transient curse I picked up earlier. I managed to kill them, but they were an absolute pain in my ass. I carried on, making my way over to an item, and then getting spit roasted. And once again, I died. What followed were a few frustrating minutes. Oh, you fuck's sake. You know what, I'm actually done. We're gonna come back to that. After getting humbled a few too many times, I set my sights on a new path, hopefully one without ghosts with sword arms. It wasn't ghosts I found, but no, it was skeletons. I died instantly. My god. But like the true Souls player I am, I did it again. This time choosing to leg it into a dark tunnel with an army of angry bones right up my arse. My time in the catacombs was short-lived, mainly due to the flaming red skulls. I chose to avoid them for now, my curiosity driving me even further in. Catacombs. With red flaming skulls. And this is where I found Sonic the Skeleton. Let's press on. What's down here? Oh! You are. I thought he'd be easy. A 1v1 in a little ditch with no other enemies around. But no, this guy was stop, drop and rolling at every chance he could. Bye! Why is he rolling like that? But after delivering a couple back shots, I almost said back shots. But after delivering a couple backstabs, he could roll no more. Before he came back to life, I continued into the catacombs. For some reason, everything I'd learned about these games was being ignored. I thought it would be a great idea to barrel straight through like Indiana Jones. So suddenly, I had two more bony bastards to deal with. But did I? No, I ran. I thought I'd finally found sanctuary. I saw the familiar glow of a bonfire, and I thought I was safe. But then I remembered that this is Dark Souls, and you're never safe. There was an enemy lurking in the corner like a prop, and I was still being followed by the skeletons, so I couldn't rest at the bonfire. Instead, I ran around like a headless chicken until my inevitable death. At the bonfire, I popped a few souls in the hopes that an upgrade would help me deal more damage. I mean, I get that the Souls games are hard, but surely I should be able to get through the first area. But just as I was about to enter the graveyard once again, I saw another path. Up this path, I met Petrus of Thorland, a very posh man, but also very antisocial.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
After being told to leave him alone, he gave me a copper coin and I continued to the stairs on the right.
Okay, so I haven't been this way before. I'm hoping there's no ghosts or skeletons here.
It led to multiple chests, which felt extremely rewarding after the multiple deaths. However, there wasn't really anything useful in them, so the brief moment of victory was cut short. But it wasn't all bad. After being forced to drop down into the graveyard once again, I ran back up to the new path and saw yet another way to go. I made my way up some stairs, fought some enemies, which were significantly easier than the ghosts and skeletons, so I assumed I was on the right track. Up the stairs, I found myself in Undead Berg.
Undead Berg.
Instead of heading through the fog door on my left, I rolled through some barrels to the right and got distracted. But I guess that's the beauty of these games. All paths interlink at one point or another, and the real journey is the exploration and just how you take on the world. Anyway, after dropping down, I slaughtered more enemies, picked up some rubbish, and climbed up a ladder onto a bridge. I found some humanity and myself right back at the beginning.
That's where I started.
So this time, I decided to head through the fog door. This led me up more stairs and onto a bridge where a dragon flew over my head.
Lovely.
I killed the remaining enemies and found a summon sign, so naturally, I summoned in my first phantom, glitched magic.
Is there a summon here? Go on. Summon him.
I continued through the castle with the phantom at my side, who killed all foes with ease. We pressed on, finding 5 black firebombs, some new armour, which wasn't great, and another fog door. This led me out onto a bridge, where I fought the tourist demon. Well, I say I fought. The phantom killed him in 2 hits, which kind of felt like cheating, but how was I supposed to know?
Oh. Was that cheating?
After the demon was defeated, I made my way through the door he was guarding, where I expected to find a bonfire, but I instead found Solaire.
Oh my god.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son.
I carried on and came across a suspiciously large bridge, when a dragon soared overhead. Burning all the enemies on the bridge. I didn't carry on though, instead opting to head down some stairs to the left.
Huh?
Not wanting to get burnt alive again. For some reason, completely ignoring the bonfire that was practically calling my name. This led me down underneath the bridge. I defeated the 2 enemies there and cleared out a room full of rats. After climbing up a ladder, I found myself in a new area, Undead Parish.
Undead Parish. No. Bonfire.
I killed a soldier guarding a doorway, and after looking in said doorway, opting to look around first.
Nope.
I climbed an ominous spiral staircase and pretty much died instantly after coming face to face with what I can only describe as a bigger, meaner looking Hollow Knight. Once I died, I found myself back at the undead birch. I decided to look around a bit more, just in case I'd missed something, but also so I didn't have to humiliate myself again so soon. My exploration paid off, as I found a staircase hidden behind some barrels, and down there I found a merchant. I couldn't buy anything for now, obviously because of my most recent death, but I made both a mental and physical note that he was there. He did tell me to fall off a cliff because I didn't buy anything, but I chose to ignore it and carry on.
Go and fall off a cliff.
I found another ladder, and after climbing up, I was on a rooftop, where I picked up 10 throwing knives, and once again, myself back at the bonfire. Once I'd rested, and decided to try and fight the big knight, and it went horribly wrong. I'd like to say I fought well, but I really didn't. This pattern repeated itself. I'd run back and die over and over. And I think it was starting to get to me, because the next time I died, it wasn't from the knight, it was from the rats. I wasn't playing properly, and the rats managed to poison me, where I died a few minutes later. So, I decided to move on, this time opting to head through the doorway the skeleton was guarding, even though it looked like the furthest thing from fun. I scoped out the courtyard and saw a small staircase to the right which led to a bridge above the armoured pig. I ran up there so I could use it to my advantage. I was also getting kind of desperate for a shortcut or a bonfire, so I hoped I might find one. There was no shortcut or bonfire, only more enemies. I cleared them out and prepared to fight the pig, only for it to glitch out and get stuck, which felt very underwhelming, but I decided to take advantage of the situation and kill the pig. I carried on, heading down some more stairs where I found a mystery key and a mean-looking knight with a red cape. It was getting very late at this point, so I was determined to find a bonfire, so I did the only logical thing I could think of and charged through the numerous enemies, crossing both my fingers and my toes, hoping to find a bonfire. And somehow, I did. I actually found one. I can't even begin to describe how relieved I felt to see that bonfire. And so to celebrate, I used my souls and leveled up, which brought me even more relief. Not only did I find a bonfire, I also found the Onion Knight, who was stuck trying to open a huge gate. Once I'd exhausted his dialogue, I made my way back, and I went to investigate the clanging noise. And I found Andre.
New arrival. I'm Andre of Astora. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
And after checking my weapons, I chose to upgrade my longsword. I decided to leave it there, as it was 2 o'clock, and I had to get up early, but I will be back, and it will be amazing. Okay, so I know it may not seem like I got a lot done in this episode, but as I've said, I'm doing this completely blind, and I've also only included what I consider to be key moments. But if you want longer, more natural videos, then let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going, what I'm supposed to be doing, and if I'm actually supposed to be where I am, if I'm doing the right thing. And I know it seems like I've died a lot, and I have, but I'm still trying to learn the combat and when to attack, when to block, when to parry, all of those sorts of things, but I know they'll come with time and consistency. But so far, I've had an incredible time playing. I love the world design and the enemies and just how relentless and brutal this game really is. I mean, even stopping to record this now, I can't wait to play more and dive back in. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode. If you have, please feel free to like, subscribe, switch on notifications, and share your experience with Dark Souls in the comments down below. Stay tuned for episode 2.